All rise. Judge Bunderby Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1055, Scott case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Mrs. Scott, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am just really tired of my husband not doing things that he should be doing, such as spending quality time with me and our 17-year-old daughter.
Okay.
He's just not coming up to par, and frankly, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of it.
All right. So you all have a 17-year-old daughter.
Yes.
And you're tired of him not spending quality time with you and your daughter.
That's right.
I can totally understand that. Now, what does that have to do?
All right, everyone. Let's dive into another interesting case. Mrs. Scott is frustrated with her husband and wants a divorce, along with child support. She claims he isn't spending enough quality time with her or their 17-year-old daughter. The judge listens carefully, but quickly questions the validity of her claims. Eventually, Mrs. Scott admits that she's simply bored and feels their relationship has lost its spark. It's clear this case is more about emotional dissatisfaction than financial neglect. With a firm stance, the judge takes control of the situation. Watch how this complex case unfolds.
Want to put him on child support because of that?
Yes, obviously. I mean, he is the provider of our home, and absolutely, I want child support.
He's the provider of your home and you just want to get rid of him like that?
I just feel
Because
like,
you're being petty and in your feelings?
well, I feel like we've just grown apart, and I'm just tired of him not making me happy. He doesn't take me out. We don't do fun things anymore. And frankly, I'm bored.
Oh, okay. Mr. Scott, why are you boring this woman to death over here?
I'm not really sure why I'm here.
Honestly, I'm not sure why you're here either. It sounds like she's just in her feelings right now because you're not spending time with her. And you're 17.
Saint Nimes. Scott lays out her complaints, frustrated with her husband's lack of effort in their marriage and his absence from their daughter's life. She admits she's bored and wants a divorce, along with child support. However, as the judge digs deeper, it becomes clear that Mr. Scott is still financially supporting the family. Mrs. Scott doesn't deny this, but insists that her emotional needs are being ignored. She believes a relationship requires effort and engagement, and she's not getting that from him. As the judge challenges whether this is a valid reason for legal action, the tension in the courtroom rises.
And that's not what court is for. We don't just place people on child support because we're in our feelings.
I recently retired. I'm tired. I worked 50 years and
Where did you retire from?
from the military.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
This man is tired. That's why he probably doesn't want to spend quality time all the time. Can you give him a break?
Well,
And sir, can you spend some more time with your 17-year-old daughter?
When she's home, I'm more than willing to do that, but she's 17 years old.
Right.
I mean, she has a life, friends, a phone, and I'm available.
I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand that. Mrs. Scott, let's not be petty.
Mr. Scott, a retired military veteran, steps up, confused about why he's even in court. He explains that after 50 years of service, he's simply exhausted. The judge acknowledges his dedication and reminds Mrs. Scott that personal relationship issues aren't something the court is meant to resolve. Mr. Scott expresses his willingness to spend more time with his daughter, but points out that at 17, she's independent and busy with her own life. He also emphasizes that he has always provided for his family and continues to do so. The court recognizes his efforts and questions whether child support is truly necessary in this situation, especially for a teenager on the verge of adulthood.
Don't do that. There is no reason to come to court and divorce this man, place him on child support, especially if you say he's a provider. He seems like he's a good man, retired military. He takes care of you, obviously. You look beautiful. So I don't think this is the right route that you need to go. Most people that come in this court get put on child support because they either deserve to be put on it, or they were doing something they didn't have any business doing when it comes down to not taking care of their kids. So I just wouldn't want to put this man on child support just because, like I said, you're in your feelings.
Your Honor, I really don't feel like I'm in my feelings, because it's important in a relationship for there to be wonderful things happening. We have to find ways to keep our relationship healthy and strong and moving forward. We can't just stand still and be stagnant. I mean, he's got to come up, he's got to do more.
Mr. Scott, can you assure Mrs. Scott that you're going to do more so you do not have to come in this courtroom and be placed on child support for a 17-year-old child?
The judge doesn't mince words. She firmly tells Mrs. Scott that court isn't the place for minor disputes or emotional dissatisfaction. Acknowledging Mr. Scott's service and role as a provider, she urges Mrs. Scott to reconsider her stance. The court encourages both parties to work on their relationship and dismisses the case, ruling that child support isn't necessary for a 17-year-old. Before closing, the judge delivers a strong yet compassionate message. Relationships require effort from both sides, and court isn't the solution for boredom or unmet emotional needs. Her final words make it clear: don't bring personal frustrations to the courtroom.
I think her concern is it cannot solely be a burden for me. We have to work together.
I agree. I agree.
Yes.
You like that? I like that. That touched my heart.
I do love him.
Okay, and he loves you too. So, can I go ahead and dismiss this case and put people on child support that need to be on here?
Yes.
Thank you. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As the case wraps up, the judge reflects on what just unfolded. She stresses that the courtroom is meant for serious issues like child neglect or financial irresponsibility, not minor disputes or emotional dissatisfaction. She warns that filing cases without solid legal grounds wastes valuable time and resources. The judge also highlights the importance of communication and effort in relationships, urging couples to resolve their issues outside of court whenever possible. The episode ends with a clear message. If you know someone in a similar situation, encourage them to work through their problems without legal intervention. After all, children grow up watching these cases, and every court ruling can shape their future.